Hi, I'm the hydroponics guy. Today we're going to talk about spider mites. Spider mites are really prominent during the winter months when the air in your house is dry and the furnace is pumping out all of that hot, dry air. That's ideal for mites. And mites can multiply rapidly, and the other thing is they are highly contagious. So if you suspect spider mites, it's best to take care of them right away before they get into your other plants, because they will. When you're looking for mites, there's three plants that are three types of plants that are really susceptible to mites, and I would check them first. The first, of course, is English ivy, guaranteed to get mites, but I'm going to show you how you can prevent them. Number two is any kind of palm. I have a Neanthobella palm here. It doesn't have mites, but we're going to use this. I'm going to show you how you can get rid of mites if your plant gets them. And number three is any type of Schefflera. Scheffleras are really susceptible to mites also. And so what happens is that when spider mites get on your plants, they hide on the underside of the leaves, and they start building miniature webs on the bottom of your leaves. And this is what your leaves look like as the spider mites are present. You don't see the mites, but you can see the damage that they do. And then, if you don't take care of the mites, this is what your plant is going to look like eventually. And this is when they're highly contagious, and they can get into all of your plants. So today we're going to talk about, like I said, one is how to prevent them. Two, what to do when you have mites. Now I use neem oil for just about any type of insects, and neem oil works for mites too. So let's talk about neem oil for a minute before we go into the sink, and I show you how I would take care of the mites if they were on this plant. Neem oil is an oil that comes from the seeds of a neem tree. Neem oil is very effective, but you need to have the right neem oil. The type of neem oil that I would buy would be, number one, it has to be cold pressed. And that means that there's no heat used to extract the oil from the seeds, because heat will affect the active ingredients in the neem oil. Number two, buy only concentrated neem oil and mix your own. Pre-mixed neem oil, I don't trust it. It's never worked for me, and I'm not even sure what the ratio is and all of that stuff. I buy pure, organic, concentrated neem oil, and then I mix my own batch, and we'll do that at the sink later when we start to spray the plant. Now the other thing is that neem oil acts like honey, and it can solidify in cold weather, and making it hard to mix. So if your neem oil acts like honey and it looks like honey when it comes out of the bottle, the way to heat it is to put it in warm water over the stove. Do not use the microwave. Just put it in a pan of warm water that's warm to touch, not boiling, and that will liquefy the neem oil, and then you can use it to mix for your plants. So let's go to the sink, and I'll show you how I would deal with spider mites on this plant. Here we are at the sink, and these are the tools that we use to fight the spider mites that would occur on a Neanthobella palm. Of course, I have my neem oil, cold pressed organic neem oil. I have a good sprayer, and I have dish soap. I'm going to be adding one drop of dish soap so that the neem oil mixes in with the water. So, okay, here we go. So the first thing I did is I put a little bit less than a quart of warm water in my sprayer. Now I'm going to add the neem oil, and I use 1 capful per quart. I don't have quite a quart here, so I'm going to use a little bit less than a capful of neem on this. And now neem has a bit of an odor, but that will dissipate in a day or two. Now, you can see how the neem oil does not mix with the water. I put 1 drop of dish soap in there. If you put more than a drop, you're going to have suds everywhere. Any dish soap will work. Today I'm using Dawn. Plant will be fine. Now, I shake this up, and there you are. That is my solution that I'm going to use to spray the plant. The next thing I do is, using the water gauge as a handle, lift the plant from the outer pot, take it over to the sink, and again, you can see the oil, again, is separating from the water, so just keep shaking your spray bottle, and now you spray the leaves, and make sure that you get on the underside of the leaves. Neem oil is totally safe to use, so you don't have to wear gloves. You don't have to worry about overspray. Neem oil is effective, and I like the idea that it's safe to use, so you don't have to be so careful, especially at your sink. Okay, there we go. We got the plant totally saturated. And notice how I wash the bottom of the leaves, pulling the plant up like that, making sure that the neem oil gets on the underside of the leaves too, because that's where the mites really are. Then, after I'm done with that, I turn the water on and just simply wash the neem oil away. And this is a big advantage of hydroculture. The neem oil can go through the pebbles and out the bottom. In fact, the roots will enjoy a little neem oil, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Whereas if this was in soil, soil will trap it, and this just doesn't work with soil. And so there you are. That's it. Now, if my plant actually had mites, I would need to repeat the same procedure once a week for 3 weeks, because I am effectively killing all the adults when I do this, but the eggs will still stay there. We need to break the cycle of the eggs hatching and the adults laying more eggs. So once a week for 3 weeks, whether you see insects or not, and you will get rid of the mites. Now, I also talked about how do you prevent mites on your plants, and maybe the number one thing is to keep your house cool, because the warmer it is, the more the mites multiply and travel to other plants. But you can do this with your plants, and if your plants have been inside all winter, I would suggest going around and doing this to your plants, getting the dust off the leaves, give them a shower. They will really enjoy that, and you might stop any insects that you don't see. So what I do is I put a little bit of soap on my hand, lather it up, and now, using my hand, supporting the leaf, I just go through the plant gently and evenly, cleaning all the leaves. This gets all the dust off. I'll clean the underside of the leaves like that. And there you are. Now then, turn the water back on and rinse this off, making sure that I get all the soap suds off. And again, soap suds going through the pot, not a problem with hydroponics. And the soap suds will come right out the bottom of the pot. Again, impossible with soil. But there you are. And now that plant's had a nice shower and the leaves are clean. I'm going to put it back in its outer pot. And it's all set. And I recommend doing this every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks throughout the winter to keep your plants healthy and happy. So of course, this is how you would do all your tabletop plants. But if you have floor plants, you can take them in the shower and do the same thing that we did here today. Swimming suits are optional, so however you decide to do that is entirely up to you. So all of the equipment that we use, the neem oil, the spray bottles, all of this stuff, it's all on the website. That's easygrowhydro-store.com, and there's no W on grow. Okay, that's how we get rid of spider mites.